It is no surprise that the place to be in Omaha tonight is the CHI Health Center because the Supernovas are back in town, in action, and in front of another big crowd, which has become the norm in this city that loves volleyball. And tonight that crowd will see the Supernovas take on the Columbus Fury in PVF action. Hi, everybody, alongside Nancy Metcalf. I'm Bill Dolman. So good to have you with us. And Nancy, this is an early season rematch between these two teams in the PVF, and there's no secrets because they played just last Friday. Omaha swept Columbus on the road. How did they do it then? How do they do it again tonight?
These two teams are very familiar with each other. This is actually Reagan Cooper's team from last year, so she especially is familiar with how Columbus works and how the coach wants to run their team. But Omaha played a really consistent game. They were led by their outsides. Kelsey Payne had a great match for them. Reagan Cooper was on fire last time for them, so they're going to look for her to be solid again. And Brooke Nunneveller, no surprise there, was solid again for Omaha.
Now, Columbus will come in with an 0-5 record on the season. They have 3 losses in 5 sets. This is a team that's probably a little bit desperate and therefore might be dangerous tonight.
Yes, a team that's looking for their first win is going to be hungry, and Columbus is no exception to that. They want to win. They're coming in 0-5. They're trying to prove something. They know Omaha's game plan now from playing just a short while ago, and so they're going to look to come in and make some changes tonight and take the win away.
Yeah, the scouting report was probably pretty quick over the last few days. All right, let's take a look at our Medica starting lineups. And for the Omaha Supernovas, Natalia Valentin Anderson, she runs the show now. She is the center. Reagan Cooper, you mentioned her. She had 12 kills in the second and third sets combined in the Omaha win in Columbus. Got off to a slow start with just 2 kills in the first set, but then she took off. And Caitlin Horde, what a monster match she put forth in Columbus. 9 kills and 7 of the team's 15 blocks.
She did. Caitlin Horde has been such a force at the net for Omaha this year. Omaha had 15 blocks in Columbus, and like you mentioned, Caitlin Horde had 7 of those. She's been a really strong blocking presence for the team. They're going to look for her to continue that.
And for the Columbus Fury, Isabella Rapach has become a weapon on the outside for the Fury. She had 13 kills in their loss the other day against Grand Rapids, but she led the team with just 8 kills in the loss against Omaha. They had no offense against the Supernovas, hitting just .085. The center for Columbus is Tori Stringer, an All-American at Louisville, and Megan Courtney Lush. She knows all about winning. This 0-5 start for her is probably she's getting agitated. She won 2 national championships at Penn State. Angel Perez is the head coach of the Fury, one of the great players all time in Puerto Rico, played professionally, won a couple of league championships as a coach. He's got to find some answers to turn it around.
He does, and Columbus was looking for answers in their match against Omaha. They tried several different outside hitters in different positions. They were trying to find the subs to get the fire lit. They didn't get it done. They'll try to do it again tonight.
And on the other end, somebody who's becoming pretty popular around the city of Omaha, Laura Kuhn. Everybody knows her as Bird. In her second season now, led the Supernovas to the championship last year. Her team is off to a 3-2 start and has gotten a bit of a break. They played last Friday, didn't play over the weekend, and we are set to go to see Omaha and Columbus. And it's the Fury with the first serve, and it's an overpass and quickly put down, and Columbus takes a 1-0 lead.
And that's the look Columbus wants to start with. They're coming out serving tough right away, going at that seam between the two passers. Look for them to continue to try to stress that seam to make the passers communicate and move.
Abby Walker dunked it down. Back to serve is the setter, Tori Stringer. And she gives the point right back. So back to serve for Omaha. This is Kayla Caffey, middle blocker. 27 kills on the season, hitting .217, and her first serve sails long. So the two teams trade service errors. Serving has been a big issue for Omaha. They had the first 2-game losing streak in the franchise history. Serving was the problem. They seem to have rectified that in Columbus last week.
They did, and serving is such a tough battle to find the fine line between serving aggressive and not making too many errors. And so this is something both teams, I think, will continue to work on all season long because you want to stress the other side of the net by serving tough. But if you go after it too much and make too many errors, it just takes the pressure off of them.
Native of Puerto Rico and a 16-year pro volleyball veteran, Natalia Valentin Anderson serves this one up. Tipped into the block and put back down. Flying dig by Camila Gomez, and now set free to Columbus. Rolling the shot over and getting the kill. That's Rapach.
And that's a nice angle shot by Isabella Rapat. She comes up, she's a right-handed player, so she's swinging across her body. She takes a little bit of heat off of it and just drops it right in front of the right back player.
Rapat hitting just 157 on the season, getting a kill. There's Reagan Cooper. That goes off the block. Tough set. Cooper with a tip into the block this time. That's covered by Caitlin Horde. Out of the back row, tip try for the Supernovas. Falls for a kill, Brooke Nunaviller.
And there was a really nice recycle play there by Reagan Cooper. She didn't get the set she wanted. She's very smart playing it light, soft off the block so her teammates can cover. Brooke Nunaviller ready to come in out of the back row. I like how Natalia Valentin-Anderson is mixing up early in the match.
Cooper serves. Good one. That's an ace. For Reagan Cooper, that's 8 aces on the season now to lead Omaha. Handled much better this time, but Stringer has to fight to get there. Great dig by Gomez. Valentin-Anderson goes to Payne. She's dug. Tried again with Lush, and her attack goes wide. No touch, and another point for the Supernovas.
Some frustration there on the Columbus side. They're wanting to get those touches off the block because Omaha's block is doing such a nice job of getting up and over the net that they're having to look for other angles to get around the block.
Lush going to try again. This time she finds the corner.
It's a nice high swing by Lush, not looking to go down into the block, not pulling it down. Sometimes that's a tendency of players when they get blocked, they want to hit harder. She does a really nice job of staying smart and hitting high in that seam.
40th kill of the season for Lush. Isabella Rapat back to serve. Serving at Gomez. Good block by the Fury. Supernovas trying again. That's Payne. She's dug up by the libero, Sarame. Tapped around, and Nunaviller dug in the back row. That just allows too much time for the block to get set up for the Supernovas.
Very much so. When it's an out-of-system ball like that, which typically means the setter is not setting it, it has to be a higher ball to allow the attacker time, but that also gives the block time to form. And Omaha, one of the best at getting their block solid and formed over the net.
Caitlin Horde serves. Another good one, pulling Stringer off the net. Over past the Fury, get a chance to do it once again. Slide is rejected. Lush into the double block. Payne and Caffey set up the wall.
And Kayla Caffey there for Omaha is working so hard. Stringer is a very experienced setter. She knows the game. She sets one pin, then back to the other, then back out to the outside in that same rally, making Kayla go back and forth across the net. She did a great job getting over the net and sealing.
Way too much on that serve, and the error gives the point to the Fury. 7-5 Supernovas. Lush floats the serve. Played by Cooper, and a quick set to Kayla Caffey, and she drills it for the kill.
That's a great connection timing there with Natalia Valentin-Anderson and Kayla Caffey, getting her the ball up quick, but keeping it in front of Kayla Caffey. Kayla will get in trouble if they set the ball off the net because she gets under it. Natalia does a great job there keeping it in front of her.
Great serve by Kelsey Payne. Near side, Kaylee Cox. And that's off Cooper.
It's a nice swing. We can see it coming up here again on the outside. She just tools it down the line, right off Anderson.
When you heard the horn sound, we're going to have a review on that. Not an indication of what the question might be. You have one up official on the floor now. The R2 is actually at a scorer's table viewing the monitor.
Yes, that's a change from last season. There's no longer a second referee standing along the net. Now he's or she is seated at the table behind the top ref, and they're helping with the video replay.
So is there a question here as to whether there was a touch or whether the net touch is what the call is? And it's pretty obvious as the arms come down that there is contact, and the point does go to the Fury. So 8-6 Supernovas, still early on, set number one. When they met last Friday in Columbus, the Supernovas pulled off the sweep 27-17, 15, and 19. Omaha hit 299 in the match, but it was the story of the Supernovas defense that held the Fury to just 085. Setting it to Nuneviller. That's off the block, easily playable. And out of the back row, it's Lush, and she hits into the net.
Yes, and I think Omaha, when they played in Columbus, did a great job of staying consistent and being low error, and their block took over at the net, which led to Columbus not having the success they wanted and making uncharacteristic errors.
3-point Omaha lead, Nuneviller with the serve. Decent pass for the center to handle, but an overpass. And into the donut, and that's a point for the Fury.
That's a great experience play by Tori Stringer. She's up at the net. She sees that the defense is already starting to suck back to play defense on an attack. She just drops it over the middle, right in the middle of the court.
Stringer goes back to serve, native of Los Gatos, California. Season high 53 assists. That was in the match against Atlanta, and her serve goes long, and the Fury's just given up some free points so far.
They are, and that can be the tough part of the momentum of the match. Volleyball is such a game of momentum. When your team works so hard to get the side out and get the ball back in their control and you serve out, it kind of deflates that energy that your team has just built up.
Stringer plays it out of the net, and a free ball over to the Supernovas. Out of the back row, Nuneviller used the tape. Poked up by Sarame. And Cox can't get a hand on that, and that's another point for the Supernovas, and the lead is back up to 4.
Nice job by both the Omaha Supernovas players reaching over the net but staying away from it with their feet. That's a tight set. It's a really tough ball for the Columbus player to get to.
Another good serve. That's at Lush. Stringer goes backside. Valentine Anderson goes behind her. Payne, that's off the block. Fury with a chance and a quick hit. Dumped over by Valentine Anderson and play. Longest rally so far this early part of the match. Supernova block is out of bounds, and that's a kill for Kaylee Cox.
That's a great rally that we see a lot of examples of really good defense. We saw Kelsey Payne dig a ball up on the Omaha side, but Columbus stays with it, and they're able to tool the block out of bounds. That's the kind of hit they want to keep working after when they're going against a big block like Omaha that's disciplined.
Kaylee Cox serves. On the slide, Megan Horde. And that's off the Fury, and that's another point for the Supernovas.
That's a great slide connection there between Nati and Caitlin Horde. Timing can be so important on that, and Nati has a really good sense for where her hitters are at and getting the ball to the tempo that they're ready for it.
Back to serve is Omaha's setter, Natalia Valentine Anderson. Lush cuts it right in front of the block and in front of Cooper for the figure kill.
That's a great swing by Megan Lush. She is so talented at being able to see the block coming out towards her. She turns her thumb down and cuts it down inside the middle blocker. Hits that sharp angle right in front of the left front, Reagan Cooper.
Abby Walker serves at Gomez. Poked over by Horde. That was a quick set by Valentine Anderson. You've got to have good chemistry with your hitters with a set like that.
You do. When it's quick sets, the tempo and the timing is so important, and you have to have a good connection between the setter and the middle. Caitlin Horde doing a really nice job that time, just being up and available for Nati, finding a hole in the court.
Lush tips it deep. Easy play for Reagan Cooper. Payne off the floor. Not much of an attack on that. And it falls on the back line for a Supernova kill.
And that was just a really smart shot by Kelsey Payne. She took a little bit of heat off of that. It wasn't quite the set she was expecting. Got her feet to the ball, took some heat off, and dropped it on the end line. You can see the replay here from the Bolt 6 system that they're using. Leaves no doubt about in or out, which makes it nice because it keeps the tempo of the match flowing.
And no doubt right now that it's Omaha that has the momentum, and a 5-point lead, and a timeout has been taken by Columbus.
For you. You live in Nebraska or the surrounding states? Then it's for you. Want to earn cash back on your transactions? Then it's for you. Are you ready to start banking with purpose? Then Liberty First Credit Union? It's for you. We're not your typical credit union. We support you with personalized banking that's open to everyone. Start banking with purpose at Liberty First Credit Union. We're for you.
Fisher's Fury's Event Center in Indiana will play host to the inaugural PVF All-Star Match, February 22nd. Tickets are on sale now at provolleyball.com or scan the QR code for instant access.
Okay, so I just have these gift cards from the Corner Kick Cantina, which are both the best.
Old Market in Omaha is not too far away, and a great night for folks to be out. It has been a gorgeous day in eastern Nebraska. Temperatures right around the 50s. That might be flooded with Supernovas fans once we get done here at the CHI Health Center.
Yeah, it's a great area in Omaha. Really nice to be close that fans can come out of the match afterward and go get a bite to eat.
Good start for the Supernovas, who lead the Columbus Fury by a score of 14-9. A timeout. And Reagan Cooper will serve. Played last year for Columbus, was the PVF Rookie of the Year. And that ball poked over and deep and too far, and it's an attack error by the Columbus Fury, and another point for the Supernovas.
Tori Stringer trying to get the Columbus Fury going with the set to the middle, trying to get that quick tempo, can build energy, but just misses long.
Another tough set for Stringer. Gomez tracks that down, and Nunaviller tried to swipe it off the block, and she missed the Fury, and that's a point for Columbus.
It's an uncharacteristic error for Brooke Nunaviller. She is really smart with the ball when it's not what she wants. She doesn't usually make those errors, but she's trying to be aggressive and swipe it off the block, which would be a really smart play. Columbus does a great job of staying disciplined.
Into the match for the Fury, number 5, this is Wilma Rivera. Native of Carolina, Puerto Rico, and a wicked left-handed jump serve. Payne, she's dug. Valentine Anderson goes to Nunaviller. Good coverage by Rivera. She's been busy since she's gotten in. Nunaviller with a dig. Payne's going to try it again, and she sails that long. Omaha says touch. Columbus says no, and the but now we will see what the video says.
We will see, and they have video, which is outstanding in this arena with the Bolt 6 system. They've got 22 cameras at different places around the court, up in the rafters, out in the crowd. They have every angle you can imagine, so they will get it right. I'm confident of that, and all the Omaha players fairly immediately started calling for the touch, so they were all certain they saw it.
Yeah, but the Columbus player said no right away, right? Well, that's going to tell it. And
they did, but you can see the pinky move on the replay on her right hand here.
Fingers don't lie.
Left hand, yes, fingers don't lie. And thank goodness for good video. Players have to have really good poker faces because sometimes you can fool everybody on the court if you can just keep a straight face. They don't get away with it nearly as often.
Reason for Coach Kuhn to smile. Her team leads it by a score of 16-10. And another timeout has been called. So Omaha has a 6-point lead. So with that, we will step aside, another timeout, and come back with more action from set number 1 in Omaha.
Nebraskans love their volleyball. That's why NCN is once again televising Omaha Supernovas matches this season. Join Husker volleyball announcer John Baylor and Husker Olympian Nancy Metcalf for all the action as the Supernovas look to defend their Pro Volleyball Championship in 2025. Tune in to News Channel Nebraska for Omaha Supernovas Volleyball, presented by Barry Law.
If you've been seriously injured, victory requires teamwork. At Barry Law, we understand what's at stake for you and your family. We have fought for the rights of our clients for over 50 years. Together, we pursue justice to recover the financial compensation and peace of mind that you deserve. Our mission is to win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Barry Law. We are in it to win it.
With Nancy Metcalf, I'm Bill Dolman. Welcome back to the CHI Health Center in Omaha, where the Supernovas are back in action. They had Sunday off. Last match the Supernovas played was in Columbus against this same Fury squad. And Omaha rolled 3-0. It's the only time the Fury who are 0-5 on the season, have been swept this year. And out of the timeout, another point, and the lead is as big as it's been. It's up to 7.
And Columbus just trying something different right now. They got Wilma Rivera in setting. They've got Morgan Lewis in at opposite. She just hits the ball in the net, makes an error.
And there's a service error by Caitlin Horde. Both teams served the ball fairly well in that match last Friday. Omaha had 15 service errors in their loss at San Diego. Corrected that. They had just 3 errors against the Fury, and Columbus only had 4 service errors. I think they have that already in this set.
Yeah, that's very clean serving, especially for these teams. But they're not starting out quite as clean tonight.
Ramelsburg gets the kill for Columbus. Back to serve, Megan Lush, native of Kettering, Ohio. Did play her collegiate ball at Penn State, but playing back in her home state professionally. Haley Cox drills it into the block, and that falls for a Fury kill. And a mini run for Columbus.
And Kaylee Cox is going to be somebody for Columbus that they're going to depend on. They want to set her a lot of balls, get her a lot of swings. She does a nice job there staying aggressive. The Omaha block just not over the net, so they're not able to seal that ball down on the Columbus side.
Good pass to Valentine Anderson, and that's the result. Played it well off the serve, terrific pass. She has so many options then, and Nunaville gets the kill.
That's a really nice combination play there. They run Nunaville inside on a quicker set, just a step inside of the antenna. They get the middle blocker jumping with the Omaha middle, and it leaves Nunaville one-on-one.
Poked up by Cooper. Nunaville's going to get another swing, and this time she's rejected by the double block.
Columbus also has some players who can block. They show that there. They do a nice job getting over the net. Nunaville is a shorter player, so typically they go with a faster ball to her. Sometimes in these higher balls, when it gives the block time to form, she gets in a little bit of trouble.
And again, Columbus has gone with a second setter here in this first set, with Wilma Rivera coming in, replacing Tori Stringer, who was running all over the floor, trying to track the ball down. There's a service there that gives another point to the Supernovas, 19-14. Nunaville with a serve. At Lush. And a point for the Fury.
That's Abby Walker for Columbus in the middle, coming up on a quick ball. And again, the set wasn't quite what she wanted. She takes a little bit of heat off of it, and it just kind of falls in front of the defense.
Morgan Lewis has come in for Columbus. She wears number 30, and she's back to serve. And not well. Another service error.
So many times people talk about the game of volleyball and what it comes down to. Too many service errors. It's really hard for a team to get any kind of momentum.
Yeah, now it's just coming down to serve, not serve and pass for Columbus. Into the match for Omaha, Allison Witten. 2015 Supernovas. That split the block and found the line, and a point for the Fury.
It's a great tempo set there from Wilma Rivera out to the pins. Really high swing by Lush, going high deep through the seam. Natalia Valentine Anderson, when she's in the front row, is the shorter block. And Columbus is outside. Lush does a really nice job of hitting high through that seam and not pulling it down into Nati.
Witten exit, and Camila Gomez has come back in. Little barrel for the Supernovas. Reagan Cooper is turned away. And the Fury are climbing back in. They trailed by 7 earlier in the set, now to within 3.
That was actually Wilma Rivera getting the block. Abby Walker closing it there out there with her.
And another Columbus service error. Inching toward 25 and trying to keep the Fury at bay. Valentine Anderson coming in with 2 aces on the season, serves it up. Payne tips it over the block. Rivera was there. And that's Walker into the block. Might have been into the net, falls back on the Fury side. 22-17 Omaha.
And some nice plays there again on the Omaha side. The set was a little bit tight for Payne, being very smart, just making a play, making Columbus make the play, and they don't.
Floating it at Sarame. Megan Lush whips it down the line for the kill.
And players like Megan Lush are why Columbus is so dangerous, because they have the potential, they have the athletic ability, they are skilled. They they get going, they can be very dangerous.
Jill Gillen checks in for Columbus, and she'll go back to serve, and she has a wicked serve. She had 3 aces in the match last Friday against Omaha. Good play. Payne goes off the hands of Gillen, and she can't put a string together.
That's a great job by Omaha, taking care of the ball, ending this rotation right away. They don't want to let Jill Gillen get going on a run. With a jump server, the more you go, the more in rhythm you feel. They want to get out of this rotation very quickly. They do a nice job handling that serve. Great set by Nati. Nice swing by Kelsey Payne.
23-18, and another timeout on the floor with the Supernovas 2 away from taking set number 1. Omaha comes in at 3-2 on the season. They're 1-1 here at home, 2-1 away from Omaha. Supernovas preseason number 3 in the PVF coaches poll. Columbus didn't have high expectations from the folks around the league. They were 8th out of 8. And 0-5 on the season. There's Angel Perez in his second season with the Fury. He was on the bench last year. Well, one of the reasons why the Supernovas have had a lot of attention and a lot of fans who have come to the CHI Center, you've got great ties to Nebraska. 4 former Huskers and a couple of Blue Jays are on the 16-player roster. You see those who have played for former Nebraska head coach John Cook.
I know.
Boy, that seems odd to say, doesn't it?
It sounds weird. It still sounds weird.
And Kendra Wade and Allison Witten had terrific careers for Kirsten Bernthal Booth at Creighton, and the Blue Jays had just a magical season, too. Once again, proving that Nebraska is the volleyball capital, if not the U.S. or not the world, certainly in the United States. But when you have the local players, that generates a lot of local interest. And the Fury have tried to do that, too, with Ohio State players and players in that region, Kentucky and whatnot.
It does, and that's a really good way to get the surrounding community involved. When you get players on your team that these fans are already comfortable with, they're already knowledgeable about because they've watched them through their college careers, that ties in some love for this team right out of the gate.
Supernovas trying to put set 1 away. Going to have a free ball opportunity here. And that pass is too far out of the reach of Valentine Anderson and dunked back down for the Fury, and they hold off 1 set point, but they've got a lot more that they've got to put away.
Camila Gomez just getting a little too aggressive on that free ball. She wants to get Valentine Anderson in the right position to set a ball, get the kill, and get out of this set, but just gets a little too aggressive, pushes it over the net, and Columbus takes care of it.
Set point number 1. Overpass. Poked up. Nunaviller tries to end it. That's dug up by Sarame. Cox is dug. Bumped it over to Nunaviller, and she tacks it into the net. A little bit of momentum for Columbus in the closing moments of set number 1. They're 4. They have down by 4 now.
Yeah, they're not going to give up. These are good teams. Both sides of the net are good teams. They're experienced players who know how to play this game. Sarame showing some really good defense. Omaha had some digs there, too, that are really nice. Both teams are going to keep fighting for every point.
Kelsey Payne is dug. Rivera goes behind her. And there's an attack that falls on the end line, and another point for the Fury.
And that's Morgan Lewis at opposite for the Fury. This is something Angel Perez did when they played in Columbus as well. He's going to freely substitute and try different people in different positions to get something going for his team. Tonight it's paying off. They've made nice little runs here. 24-21, and Laura Kuhn is going to use a timeout here. Focus on getting that 1 point. First time in the 4 sets that they played this season that Columbus has reached the 20-point plateau. They got beat 17, 15, and 19 in Columbus. The first 2 sets in that match were really not that competitive. Give it to Columbus coming back in set number 3, and there was much more of a fight, both on the floor and just mentally. It seemed like they were more engaged in that 3rd set than they had been in the first 2. And sometimes it just takes a team a little bit to get going. I can't speak for Columbus. I don't know what was in their minds, but it seemed like they got to the 3rd set and it was like all of a sudden they realized, hey, we got to turn it on. And they did. They came back and they fought hard. They played much better in the 3rd set. But they're looking now tonight even to just take over this 1st set. So they're making a run. They're not going to give up. They're going to find that fight.
In our conversation with Laura Kuhn earlier this week, she even remembered that there was a yellow card issued to Columbus, and that's kind of the equivalent of a basketball coach getting a technical foul to try to fire up the team. At least show some fight mentally. We were trying on the bench. How about on the floor?
Right, and coaches will do that. They'll try to get their team energized, even if it gets them in a little bit of trouble.
Wilma Rivera serves again, another good one. Valentine Anderson fights to get that set, and it pays off with a Nunavilla kill and a set 1 win.
It's a great finish by Brooke Nunavilla. I love the tempo of that set from Nati. She pushes it to Brooke. Brooke cuts that inside the block and finds the kill.
25-21. Omaha takes the first set over Columbus. Set 2's coming up after this.
It's for you. You live in Nebraska or the surrounding states? Then it's for you. Want to earn cash back on your transactions? Then it's for you. Are you ready to start banking with purpose? Then Liberty First Credit Union? It's for you. We're not your typical credit union. We support you with personalized banking that's open to everyone. Start banking with purpose at Liberty First Credit Union. We're for you.
As you go through the book, you're going to hear about certain leaders that influenced my life, but also influenced the future of the organization. It's always about the team. Nobody gets there alone. But as a team, we have to have a common understanding. And that's where the veteran-led concept comes in. When you hire a veteran, you get leadership experience included in that package. And for most of us now, as we struggle with hiring great people, we know that most veterans have that greatness inside of them. They know how to lead and they know how to accomplish a mission. One recurring issue that we saw was that we would help veterans with their disability appeals. They would start getting money from the VA, and all of a sudden their needs were taken care of. They're getting money to take care of their family. They're getting medical treatment. And then they're asking, well, what's next? I mean, you come back from deployments and the team's gone and the mission's gone and there's nothing to fill that void. And yet we have these veterans who have the skills not only to fill that void, but to strengthen our communities. So we wanted to put that to work.
With Nancy Metcalf, I'm Bill Dolman. Welcome back to the CHI Health Center in Omaha, where the Supernovas have taken the first set by a score of 25-21. Just 3 more kills for Omaha. Columbus actually outblocked the Supernovas 4-3, and just one ace, but a plethora of errors, really for both teams, but especially for Columbus. You could say that they kind of gave away that first set.
They did, and it's hard because they want to serve tough. They know if they let Omaha have easy balls, Omaha's going to just demolish them on offense. So they need to keep serving tough, but find that balance where they can serve aggressive, but not make so many errors.
Well, it's kind of a celebrity night tonight at the CHI Health Center. Look who's gathered along the court side. It's the Matt Rule family meeting the Raiola family. You see Dylan Raiola in there. Matt Rule right there, center of your screen, celebrating birthday number 50 tonight. And what better way than to do it on the volleyball court? You know, his daughters, he talks about Vivian and Leona, his son Brian too. They've fallen in love with volleyball in the state of Nebraska, regulars at the Devaney Center. And apparently it's so good here at the CHI Health Center in the Supernovas. So good to see him and his family taking it in.
It is, and it's wonderful for his young girls to be able to see women playing professional sports here, to have that opportunity on National Women and Girls in Sports Day like this it is tonight.
Well, they're enjoying it so far because the Supernovas out to a 1-0 lead on Columbus. Omaha started the season with a pair of victories and a terrific season opener against Atlanta. They had over 13,000 people here, setting a new record for pro volleyball attendance in the United States. Then they lost 2. First time that the Supernovas had lost back-to-back matches in their franchise history. Righted it with the win last Friday in Columbus.
Yeah.
After this, they'll be on the road to take on Orlando.
Yes, and so that was a big match for Omaha to come back. They'd lost 2 in a row, which they'd never done before. To come back and be able to play aggressive and come away with a 3-0 win is a really solid night for Omaha. They're looking to replicate it again tonight.
2 teams trade sides, and just like they did in the first set, the Fury opened up to get the first point.
That's a nice swing by Morgan Lewis. That set was higher, and she actually hung in the air, hit that ball on her way down. The block was up early as well. If Omaha can slow their block down a little bit, wait for the attack, they'll have better timing. They'll have a better chance to get in front of that ball.
Tracked down by Valentine Anderson. Reagan Cooper goes off the block and finds the floor for a Supernova point.
Great hustle by Valentine Anderson coming across the court, bump setting that ball. Reagan Cooper does a really nice job of taking a high swing to the deep left back corner. We call that zone 5. Typically that's open in defenses because the libero has to suck up in higher up the sideline to cover inside that block.
Kaylee Cox sails that long. And Omaha scored the last 2.
Kaylee Cox looking for the block there, hitting it high and flat, just misses the block.
Back to serve Kayla Caffey, and she sends that long. Cox will go back to serve for Columbus. Native of Flower Mound, Texas. Good pass for Valentine Anderson, and she goes to Payne out of the back row, and Kelsey Payne gets the kill.
Kelsey Payne starting to come alive for Omaha. She looks really good here, coming out of the back row, flying in, finding that seam in the block, going outside the outside hitter's hands.
Payne had a season-high 8 kills in the win at Columbus last week. And the serve is wide. Columbus ties it up at 3 on the gift. Abby Walker served this up. Good pass for Rivera, who opens up as the setter in set number 2 for Columbus. And a kill for Megan Lewis, and the Fury lead at 4-3.
And Wilma Rivera has a really good connection behind with Morgan Lewis. She's fed her a couple times now tonight already just to start the second set. Look for them to continue going to her because she's the hot hand right now.
Tough set for Valentine Anderson. Not much on that attack, but there's no communication on the Columbus side, and they give one away.
And we talk about missed serves being a momentum killer. Miscommunication is the same momentum killer. Columbus has a really nice dig there. Wilma Rivera going outside of her body to pick that up, and 2 players look at each other. The ball falls.
And a free shot added for Nunaviller, and she gets the kill. We saw a couple of plays like that in the first set, and it was Columbus who was able to 2-hand dunk it down. That time Nunaviller gets the kill, and Omaha has a 5-4 lead. Cooper serves. Rivera drawn off the net, goes to her knees. Lush, she's dug, and just poked up by Valentine Anderson and set free. Supernovas leave it to the defense. Lewis is able to get the kill off the block.
Wilma Rivera going back to Morgan Lewis again. Morgan Lewis is a tall player. She does a really nice job of seeing the block in front of her and hitting around it or high off the hands.
An overpass. And Valentine Anderson rolls it behind her. Ramelsburg. And a kill for Cooper.
That's Reagan Cooper coming out of the back row for Omaha. A little bit of chaos there going back and forth with a couple second balls being passed over, set over. Omaha does a nice job of staying in plan, doing their game plan, continuing to run their offense.
Caitlin Horde will serve it. On the floor with Reagan Cooper, Brooke Nunaviller, Kelsey Payne, Valentine Anderson. That ball is just out of the reach of Caitlin Horde.
That's Kaylee Ramelsburg up at the net for Columbus. She does a really good job also of seeing that block, hitting it high and around the block.
Kayla Caffey also on the floor for the Supernovas. Camila Gomez, the libero, is back in, wearing the white jersey. And this is Lush floating the serve at Caffey. And she'll get the set, and she's dug. Net violation is called on Columbus.
Kayla Caffey doing a really nice job there, passing that short serve and getting up ready to attack so that she has a target there for Nati to set to.
Kaylee Cox into a double block. Kayla Caffey was there.
And that's the Omaha block we've talked about. Kayla Caffey doing a great job getting out there, closing to Nati and pressing over.
Ramelsburg didn't have a lot on that. Nunaville, pretty frustrated that she couldn't close the door on that attack.
Yeah, that's a really tough ball, especially for defense. We call it like a paintbrush or a swipe. She just kind of mishit the ball and it kind of flops off her hand and falls on the ground. It's a tough ball to dig because it doesn't come at you hard like you're expecting it.
Gomez sets it to Nunaviller, and the Pancake can't keep the ball alive. That's off the hands of Lewis. And another kill for Nunaviller. She now has 6 in the match.
It's a great shot by Brooke Nunaviller. Knowing it's a high ball out of system, the block is well formed. She finds that hole right over the block.
Nunaville only had 7 kills in the win over Columbus last week. Really an off night for her.
She's led this team so far this season in most of their matches. She's been one of the leaders, so it was a quiet night for her. But she gets it done in other ways with her leadership, with her passing, with her serving, and her defense.
Walker hits into the block, and she's rejected. Caffey was there along with Cooper.
Reagan Cooper did a great job setting the block up there, giving Caffey something to close to, lining up with the hitter to the right place.
Serve floated at Sarame. Cox turned away. That falls on the floor, and another point for Omaha.
And I believe that was Natalia Valentin Anderson. They're trying to hit line over her, but she's in the right spot, pushing it back over the net.
It's all in the timing for a 5-7 setter.
It is.
But she turns it away, and Omaha has raced out to a 4-point lead. 11-7. Columbus has taken a timeout.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
Darling, I believe everything's gonna be alright. No need to worry because you got somebody on your side. We all need a fam, we all need a crew. When you're in a jam, don't know what to do. Just reach out your hand and we'll see you through. Doesn't matter where you're at, we got your back. We got your back.
With a Medica health plan, you're not just covered, you're cared for.
We got your back.
Welcome back to Omaha, the CHI Health Center. Volleyball tonight, almost quiet downtown Omaha. Maybe folks are here watching some volleyball or at home watching volleyball, where the Supernovas taking on the Columbus Fury. 11-7 is the score. Omaha has the lead by 4, and out of the timeout, Columbus gets a gift. Service error by Brooke Nunaviller. We talked about the service errors in that opening set. Omaha had 3, Columbus 5 service errors. And another one. That's served long by Wilma Rivera. She's aggressive.
She is aggressive, and that comes with errors sometimes. But she does have a really great serve when she's in rhythm and hitting it.
Caffey gives the gift right back. Return to sender.
Service errors can be contagious sometimes for a team. Gotta stop that, get the ball back in.
Back to a 3-point Omaha lead. Jill Gillen has come in. She's another super server. Played her collegiate ball at Arkansas. Ended her career in the NCAA tournament in Lincoln. Gained a lot of respect from Husker volleyball fans for the way she plays at 5'7". Nunaviller sets it free. And Omaha can't recover on that tip by Abby Walker.
That's just a really quick transition play on the Columbus side. Walker does a really nice job of getting up fast for her setter because that ball was coming in quick. She gets up, gets the ball over the Omaha block, and they couldn't quite get it recovered and picked up.
All right, does Gillen go on a run? Not much on that, and the answer is no.
She really laid into the first serve and went after it, and I think Omaha was kind of caught back on her heels because she served it so hard. She was trying to pop one down right in front of them that time and didn't give it quite enough to get over the net.
I don't think you see that off-speed pitch from her very often.
No, which is why she was thinking it would work if it went over the net.
Lewis tried to go down the line, but she hit it long. Back up to a 4-point advantage for the Supernovas. And Columbus wants them to take a look at it, and not sure why, because that's quite long.
It is, and that's not a challengeable ball. You can't challenge out, so that means they have to be challenging something else. But that replay from the Bolt 6 system shows it very clearly. It was out. They're calling it touch or challenging that there should have been a touch called. But the referee has an answer fairly quickly. No touch.
Yeah, and on the big screen that the folks here at the CHI Center can see, it's pretty clear there wasn't a touch. Pretty clear the ball was long. But you're right, with that Bolt 6 system, there is no reason to have the officials take a look at it. The eye in the sky does. Valentine Anderson serves it to the corner. That's it, Gillen. Lewis is going to try cross court. This time she's turned away by Cooper.
Reagan Cooper doing a great job reaching over into Lewis's side of the net there. Lewis, I think, a little bit frustrated from missing the one before that. Pulls it down. Reagan Cooper solid over the net. Nice block.
Biggest lead of the set, 5 for Omaha. Nice job by Revere to play that out of the net. Tipped over. Nuneviller out of the back row. Slapped up by Rivera. Good pass for Valentine Anderson, and that's the result.
Some nice defensive plays on both sides just to keep it alive on Columbus' side. Omaha staying in system, staying in control, doing a great job getting their middle up and feeding her the ball.
And that takes us to the 16-point timeout. Omaha's there first, leading it by 6.
As you go through the book, you're going to hear about certain leaders that influenced my life, but also influenced the future of the organization. It's always about the team. Nobody gets there alone. But as a team, we have to have a common understanding. And that's where the veteran-led concept comes in. When you hire a veteran, you get leadership experience included in that package. And for most of us now, as we struggle with hiring great people, we know that most veterans have that greatness inside of them. They know how to lead and they know how to accomplish a mission. One recurring issue that we saw was that we would help veterans with their disability appeals. They would start getting money from the VA, and all of a sudden their needs were taken care of. They're getting money to take care of their family. They're getting medical treatment. And then they're asking, well, what's next? I mean, you come back from deployments and the team's gone and the mission's gone and there's nothing to fill that void. And yet we have these veterans who have the skills not only to fill that void, but to strengthen our communities. So we wanted to put that to work.
6 points, Supernova lead in set number 2. Omaha took the first set 25-21, leading 3-13 in the opening frame, holding Columbus to 227. This was back and forth until we got to about the 10-point mark, and Omaha's gone on a bit of a run. Natalia Valentine Anderson will serve it up when we resume play. In the meantime, the folks, probably 10,000 strong, just jumping around in the CHI Center, led by the Supernovas. That's a lively bench over there, isn't it?
They got to stay warm. Got to find a way to keep those muscles ready to play.
You know, we talked to Laura Kuhn earlier this week about what she thought of her team character, and because this is a new team. Omaha won the title last year, but they have 13 of the 16 players are young, and nice dig, and that ball is still alive by Omaha. Finish that thought in a moment. Rivera is going to go behind her, and Lewis, that's poked up. Kelsey Payne plays it at Rivera. Lewis going to try again, but she's way off the net with that attack. Payne again, tips it, pancaked up, batted around. Gillen sets it free. Cooper gets the kill. The former Fury gets a point, and the lead is 7.
And Omaha doing a really nice job there. There's some really nice digs going on both sides of the net. Both setters played up sever balls, both liberos. They're doing a really nice job staying with their game plan, getting Reagan Cooper the ball in a place she can swing at it and go off the block.
Valentine Anderson to serve it again. That just clears the net. Lush whips it off Valentine Anderson. Gomez tried to track it down and can't do it. She ran out of real estate. But getting back to the character of the team, there's 13 of the 16 players on this roster that have 3 years or less experience in pro volleyball. It's a young team, it's a youthful team, and she says, as a result, this is just a really fun group, even though it's new for the most part from the team that won the title a year ago.
Yes, she did comment on how much she's enjoying this group. She said we have a lot of personality, I think was the word she used, within this group. But she said when it gets down to game time, they know how to focus and play. But she said it's just been a really fun group to get to know and to see how they're molding together and how their team chemistry is forming.
Toyosi Anabanjo has come in for Omaha. Wears number 21. She's not seeing a lot of action so far this season. And that ball is tipped off the net and out of bounds, and that's going to be a point for Omaha. 18-12 the score.
Yep, really tight set there. Not much that Columbus hitter could do, and Omaha doing a really good job staying out of the net and not touching it on its way out of bounds.
Still trying Lewis on the right side. That time she finally gets a kill.
Morgan Lewis, I think, does such a nice job. Like I said earlier, she does such a nice job seeing that block. That time she's gone line a few times now. That time she cuts it back inside the block cross court. She's not ripping it at 100%. She's taking something off of it, just dropping that ball in.
Lewis serves. Tough set for Valentine Anderson. Kept alive by Lewis, and the Supernovas Cooper takes a dive at it. It's out of her reach, and the Fury is close to within 4, 18-14.
Now that was a tough ball. Nuneviller took a great swing. Lewis just popped it up, and it came back over so quickly. Gomez had to try to chase it down and couldn't control it.
Serving it Gomez. Valentine Anderson tracks it down. Nuneviller off the block. Nice play by Gillen. Lewis sets it free at Cooper. Kelsey Payne, another good dig by Gillen. Behind the 10-meter line, and that's Lewis. And that's a point for the Supernovas.
There's some nice chase and pursuit defense here going on. Omaha staying disciplined at the net for their block.
Anabanjo serves it. Floating that to Sarame. Lush, not much on that. Nuneviller. Into the corner, but just long.
Angel Perez standing right there said it was out.
Oh, he's wrong.
You can see on the replay it tagged the line.
It did. Don't trust the coach on those calls. That's a Fury point. 20-15. Supernovas first to the 20-point mark. Anabanjo checks out. Lush serving to Nuneviller. Nice play by Caffey to get a fingertip on that and direct it for the point.
Yes, that was a great pass by Omaha to start that play. I like it that they're setting the middle. Kayla Caffey gets up. The set is just not quite right. She can't quite reach it, but it's a really nice job just swiping it across the net, falls in the middle.
Kelsey Payne, good serve. Rivera down to one knee. And there's Jen Gillen with an attack.
And Jill Gillen is a player who came in for them a couple of days ago when they played out in Columbus. She came in, had some nice swings for them. They're going to use different players and try to get people to find the spark for that team. And Jill Gillen comes in today and able to get the kill.
Kaylee Ramelsberger gets the service ace.
It's a nice serve by Ramelsberg. It just comes over the net and drops in front of the serve-receive players.
That's her second ace of the season. Fury trying to close to within 3, and that's not going to do it. She gives the point back after an ace and error. And the Supernovas back up by 5, 22-17. Brooke Nuneviller back to serve it. She's from Chandler, Arizona, and she sends that long. Lewis got out of the way.
Teams just trading serving errors right now. Both trying to serve tough to keep the other team out of system on their offense.
Wilma Rivera. Boy, that just whips across the net. Caffey gets another kill, this time on the other side.
Really nice pass to start that playoff by Camila Gomez. Going to Caffey behind, knocking finds her on the slide. Kayla Caffey does such a nice job of getting up on her slide and finding the block and hitting it through seams and off hands.
Back into the lineup for Omaha and serving. Number 20, Allison Witten. Sending it to Gillen. And she sends it to Witten. Payne goes off the block, and that falls for a Supernova point, 23-18. Second 24-18. Set point. And a lot of set points to work with. 6-point advantage. Witten serving for set 2 and a 2-0 lead. Anabanjo just got a hand on that. Here's Lewis. Played up by Payne. Cooper. Gillen down the line. Good dig. Nunaville are out of the back row. Longest rally of this set. And Lewis is rejected by the block, and the Supernovas take a 2-0 lead. 25-18 the score.
And Cooper and Anabanjo on that ball. It was tight. It was inside. They knew it was a tough ball for Morgan Lewis. They do a great job getting to the ball and pushing over.
Omaha leads Columbus 2-0. We'll take a break and have a conversation with Diane Mendenhall in just a moment.
Credit Union, it's for you. You live in Nebraska or the surrounding states? Then it's for you. Want to earn cash back on your transactions? Then it's for you. Are you ready to start banking with purpose? Then Liberty First Credit Union? It's for you. We're not your typical credit union. We support you with personalized banking that's open to everyone. Start banking with purpose at Liberty First Credit Union. We're for you.
Fisher's Event Center in Indiana will play host to the inaugural PVF All-Star Match, February 22nd. Tickets are on sale now at provolleyball.com or scan the QR code for instant access.
Kearney, Nebraska is the getaway you never knew you needed. With comfortable, premium lodging, eclectic shopping, and a variety of locally owned craft food and drink options, Kearney has something for everyone. By day, you'll find rich history, outdoor adventure, and some of America's most unique attractions. And by night, our many entertainment options, dazzling performances, and unique hangouts offer the perfect way to unwind. Visit Kearney. It's so much more than just in the middle.
With Nancy Metcalf, I'm Bill Dolman. We welcome you back to the CHI Health Center in Omaha, where the Supernovas are off to a super start, 25-21 and 25-18. Omaha leads the Columbus Fury 2-0, and we are at intermission right now. And pleased to be joined by the team president for the Omaha Supernovas, Diane Mendenhall, who has done such a tremendous job in helping this organization really develop some deep roots within the community of Omaha. Diane, how have you done it?
I'll tell you what, the best thing I do is hire really, really good people and then get out of their way. So kudos to our entire front office staff as well as our owners. And then it just goes out to the people of Omaha, the metro area, and the state of Nebraska, Iowa. It just, all the credit goes to them.
Diane, there was so much excitement last season with the first season of the new Pro Federation. How did you guys keep that momentum going? What did you do in the community to make sure that didn't die off as you start the second season?
That's a great point, Nancy, too, because you always worry about that second-year hangover. And, you know, we went out and we did a trophy tour. We did over 100 events between June and December. And, you know, this is the metro area. This is the community's trophy, and we took it out. We did every parade, every farmer's market, you name it. But we had a blast, and the people were wonderful, and that momentum just kind of led to this tidal wave. And for example, what we see tonight.
When did you get a feeling that this really was going to work in Omaha? Everybody, I would think anybody who's thinking about doing professional volleyball in the United States thinks we have to have something in Nebraska. And Omaha's a great place with a beautiful arena like this. But when did you get a sense that, yeah, this really is going to work at the professional level, not just around these great campuses in college?
I think, you know, we knew it was going to work in our very first match against Atlanta. And so when it went to that fifth set and you just saw this entire arena erupt and get behind this team, because our goal is to have the state, the community fall in love with them. And that happened at that point in time. They were invested and they were part of the team at that moment. And it just was this tidal wave from that point forward.
Tonight we're celebrating National Girls and Women in Sports, and this is such a great experience and a great environment to do that in. Can you talk about how that feels to be a part of something, the first pro volleyball league in the United States, celebrating women and girls and giving them opportunities like this?
Well, I look at you, Nancy, and I think back to when you were a Husker and I was director of operations, and you had to go play overseas. I mean, you didn't have the between the United States. So this is the perfect example. So now when women graduate from college, they don't have to leave their family and friends for 6 to 9 months and go play overseas. They can play here and make a great living. And I just look at the crowd and all the girls that are in the arena, whether they participate in sports or they cheer people on. This is the perfect venue. So it's just, it's a really important night to us, and it's important that we celebrate everyone that's in sports and everyone that cheers us on.
Folks, Diane Mendenhall is one of the unsung heroes for the growth of volleyball in the state of Nebraska, for what she did at the university and now what she's doing with the Supernovas. Thank you so much for joining us, and enjoy the evening. So far, so good for the Supernovas.
Thank you. It is, and Bill, we go way back, too, so I feel like, wow, a flashback to 25 years ago. So thanks for having me.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, it's Omaha leading Columbus 2-0. Set 3's coming up after this.
Nebraskans love their volleyball. That's why NCN is once again televising Omaha Supernovas matches this season. Join Husker volleyball announcer John Baylor and Husker Olympian Nancy Metcalf for all the action as the Supernovas look to defend their pro volleyball championship in 2025. Tune in to News Channel Nebraska for Omaha Supernovas volleyball, presented by Barry Law.
Teammates Mentor proudly serves 10,000 students in 192 chapters across Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, South Dakota, and Wyoming. But we need your help.
We're recruiting Teammates Mentors to help our students reach their full potential.
Meeting with a student once a week can make a positive impact in their life and create a ripple effect in our communities.
Go to teammates.org to learn how you can get involved. Join the team, be a mentor.
Hey sports fans, heading to the big game tonight? Make sure you stop by Speedy Mart before you hit the stadium. Fuel up your car and grab your favorite snacks and drinks to keep your energy high. Whether it's chips, soda, or a quick meal, Speedy Mart has everything you need to kick off your game night right. Don't miss out. Swing by Speedy Mart for all your pre-game essentials.
Speedy Mart, snacks before the game.
Back at the CHI Health Center in Omaha, where a festive crowd is enjoying volleyball tonight, and the Supernovas have jumped out to a 2-0 lead on the Columbus Fury. Omaha in search of win number 4 on the season. Seems to be right now well on its way. We take a look at some of the highlights from the first couple of sets.
Yes, you can see both teams have some great attacking going on. They're hitting high, they're hitting solid balls. Omaha right now just a little bit more consistent. Omaha's block has been a factor tonight, as we expected it would be. They're blocking well. I think right now they're up 6 blocks to none for Columbus, so it's paying off at the net for Omaha.
And Omaha so far hitting .368 in the match and holding Columbus to .227, and that all adds up to a 2-0 lead for Omaha over Columbus. We'll come back and have the third set for you in just a few moments.
First Credit Union. It's for you. You live in Nebraska or the surrounding states? Then it's for you. Want to earn cash back on your transactions? Then it's for you. Are you ready to start banking with purpose? Then Liberty First Credit Union? It's for you. We're not your typical credit union. We support you with personalized banking that's open to everyone. Start banking with purpose at Liberty First Credit Union. We're for you.
Fisher's Event Center in Indiana will play host to the inaugural PVF All-Star Match, February 22nd. Tickets are on sale now at provolleyball.com or scan the QR code for instant access.
If you've been seriously injured, victory requires teamwork. At Barry Law, we understand what's at stake for you and your family. We have fought for the rights of our clients for over 50 years. Together, we pursue justice to recover the financial compensation and peace of mind that you deserve. Our mission is to win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Barry Law. We are in it to win it.
Getting ready for action in set number 3 of this match between Omaha and Columbus. We have some more action for you coming up on News Channel Nebraska the rest of this season. Another match on February 27th. Orlando will be on NCN. In March on the 2nd, the Indy Ignite, new team in the PVF, number 1 team right now in the league standings, but there's a long way to go. April 17th, the Rise, the 25th against the Columbus Fury once again, and then on the 27th of April. So 3 matches coming your way in the month of April, wrapping it up with the Vegas Thrill on NCN. Terrific to have you with us tonight for this early season matchup and a repeat match. These two teams played just last Friday. Omaha won it in 3. So far they're up 2 sets to none.
Yeah, so far Omaha has been playing a good solid match. I think they're blocking at the net. We talked about earlier they had 6 blocks to none in the second set compared to Columbus. On the match finish night, they're up 10-3 blocking. So their blocking is taking care of business right now. That's making it harder on the Columbus attackers. Because of that, Columbus has a few more hitting errors, so their hitting percentage is lower. As long as Omaha stays clean, I think they can take care of things at the net. They can continue this momentum in the third set.
Both teams racking up the service errors, though, 8 aside. A lot of gifts given on this Friday night. That's going to drive Angel Perez and Laura Kuhn, it'll drive them crazy.
Yeah, it does give coaches a little bit of fits.
And there's a service error to begin things in set number 3 off Wilma Rivera. She did not start this match. Tori Stringer was the starting center, but things did not go well in the early stages of set number 1, so they made the change to Rivera, and she's been out there ever since. And Omaha gives the gift right back. Another service error. Omaha had 15 in their loss to San Diego. Thought they had righted things when they had just 3 at Columbus last Friday. 3 consecutive service errors. What is going on?
It's just players trying to do too much. That's one thing a lot of really good coaches will tell you about is you have to trust the training. You've practiced this over and over and over. For these women, they've practiced it thousands of times. So they have to trust their training, just hit a good serve. Right now they're just trying to do much.
That was a safe serve. And that attack goes wide. And Omaha gets the first point via a play in set 3. 3-1 Omaha. Valentine Anderson is serving it up. And that one sails wide. So we're back to exchanging errors. Is there a difference between serving with anxiety and serving aggressively?
There definitely is, and I wouldn't say either team right now is serving with anxiety. But I do think they're both being overly aggressive, and that leads to more errors, especially when you try to do more instead of just playing your game.
And the Supernovas get the point on that attack down the line, but that was a slow developing play. And you had 2 blockers up for Columbus, but they just didn't close the gap near the antenna.
Yeah, Reagan Cooper just did a really nice job seeing that hole by the antenna, finding the line, getting around that block, and it was behind the defender, so it was a really tough ball for the defense to dig.
Payne, she's blocked. Morgan Lewis gets the kill.
And we see Morgan Lewis again early in the set. Columbus going to her, finding a way to hit high over that seam in the block. She's going to go high seam here down, just inside the line. We call that 5-6 seam. It's a great shot because typically there's not a defender there as you see Reagan Cooper diving, trying to get a touch.
She now leads Columbus with 6 kills in the match. And another service error.
That ball actually got called in. The top referee was looking at the replay. We see it here from the Bolt 6.
Yes,
again, barely tags the line.
So a service ace. It's just the second service ace of the match for Columbus. Toyosi Anabanjo is getting the start here in set number 3, and she gets the kill.
And I think that was really the first really explosive play we've seen this set. There have been so many service errors and slow developing plays. Anabanjo that time got up and just ripped the ball, and that was really good. It got some energy for Omaha.
Nunnebeller gets up and puts the block up in the middle, teaming up with Kayla Caffey, and that's a Supernova block at another point, 6-4. Anabanjo serves this. Is that a double hit violation?
Double hit on the second contact. It's a tough ball off the court, trying to chase and push back, just mishandled it.
They've been a little looser with the double hit rules. And that's rolled over in front of Anabanjo for a Fury kill, 7-5 Omaha.
And that's Morgan Lewis again, and she's just being very, very smart. I like it that she's seeing the block well. She's seeing the defense. When the ball isn't where she wants it, she's doing a really nice job being smart and finding a spot on the floor.
Kayla Caffey gets the kill in the middle.
I like the connection that Natalia Valentin Anderson has with Kayla Caffey. She does a nice job keeping the ball in front of her. Kayla is staying behind the ball right now, and that allows her the angle to attack that ball aggressively.
Rivera goes to Ramelsberg, and she hits it wide, and another point for Omaha. I beg your pardon, that was Raina Terry. We've not talked much about her. 16, not 18, and you can see that ball going wide.
Raina Terry, the Illinois product, played at the University of Illinois. She's a player that can be super dangerous because she's a heavy hitter, but she's one that Columbus has used off and on sparingly.
That violation is called on Valentine Anderson. She says she did not during that joust. And they're going to take a look at that on the replay system. It's quite a battle to have the 5'7" Omaha setter get into a joust with a blocker like that.
It is, and setters are typically really good at jousts. Most setters will beat a taller player on a joust. Honestly, I'm not quite sure why, but they have the right timing, they have the right vision. Somehow, usually the setters win, and Natalia Valentin Anderson is no exception. She is also very good at that.
I don't think there is a touch. It looks like the net is moving because of the ball during the joust.
I think so too. I think from that replay, it looked like it was the ball hitting it, not Natalia. That's one of the downsides of having the second referee behind the table. Typically, they'd be standing right where that play is happening, and they would see it much more clearly.
See the ball on the way up, and the official takes a look at that and says, we're going to do it over. So no point for the Fury. And the replay agrees with Valentine Anderson, and quickly turned to Laura Kuhn and said, no, I did not touch it, and she's right.
She is. She's taking a little pride in that, kind of improving the system wrong. But that's one thing about the referees. They want to get the calls right, so they're going to do everything they can to keep the game moving, but to make the right call.
Cooper rejected, played it herself. Columbus says that's 4 hits. Nuneviller tips it to Terry. And set free by Columbus. Nuneviller again. And she takes it straight down in front of Lewis.
So now Nuneviller is working on the smaller block on the Columbus side, hitting over Wilma Rivera, knowing Morgan Lewis has to stay farther back because she can hit more line. Nuneviller very smart, seeing that that shot over the line blocker is open.
Terry's going to get the swing, and she hits it into Caffey and Valentine Anderson.
And there we see Valentine Anderson again getting fired up. She is such an energy provider for this team. And when she gets a block, she lets them know it.
Now, if you're Columbus, you got to be careful right now. And that's going to help as Payne sends that into the net. But Columbus showed some fight last Friday when they got down 2-0 to Omaha. But falling behind like that on the road in front of this crowd, they got some work to do. They really need to get to this thing mentally, and they've got to start at the service line. Nuneviller tips it wide, and that's a point for the Fury.
That ball just came down too far outside the antenna. Nuneviller trying to tip it back into play. One of the changes this year that they made with the Bolt 6 system is they can actually use the system to determine if the ball goes inside or outside the antenna as well. So some of these high balls that cross back across the net, they will have the computerized technology version of figuring out if it was the right call or not.
Out of the back row, Reagan Cooper gets the kill.
Kayla Caffey going behind there, splitting the block, getting that left side blocker to come with her. It leaves Reagan Cooper with just the setter in the middle blocking on her back row attack.
Lewis sends that long.
Lewis didn't look super comfortable attacking that ball. I'm not sure if her timing was off or the set timing was off. but she wasn't going into that full speed, didn't have the arm swing to crush it and bowl that ball back down in.
6-point lead for Omaha. Columbus timeout.
If you've been seriously injured, victory requires teamwork. At Berry Law, we understand what's at stake for you and your family. We have fought for the rights of our clients for over 50 years. Together, we pursue justice to recover the financial compensation and peace of mind that you deserve. Our mission is to win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Berry Law. We are in it to win it.
Nebraskans love their volleyball. That's why NCN is once again televising Omaha Supernovas matches this season. Join Husker Volleyball announcer John Baylor and Husker Olympian Nancy Metcalf for all the action as the Supernovas look to defend their Pro Volleyball Championship in 2025. Tune in to News Channel Nebraska for Omaha Supernovas Volleyball, presented by Berry Law.
Well, the guy in the red in the center of your screen has put on a great show in this building and all over the world, as you will. He is the greatest fighter in the world today, Terrence Bud Crawford, among the fans who have come out to see the Supernovas in Omaha tonight, and gives you an idea of how much the Supernovas mean to this community, because that man means so much to this community, and everybody in Nebraska is proud that Bud Crawford so proudly calls Omaha and Nebraska his home. So good to see the champ in the arena tonight.
Yes, it is. The community showing love, and he's part of this. He's a huge part of this community, and it's really cool the way the community has really rallied around this team and shows their support.
Caffey gets dug. Lush tracks it down in front of the Fury bench, and it's set free. Gomez, good pass to Valentine Anderson. Caffey can't terminate. Janice Leao has come in for Columbus. She wears 14. Reagan Cooper tries to terminate. Nice play by Sarame, the libero. Confusion on the Omaha side. That is a tight bump set to Gillen, and Omaha takes advantage of it.
And what we've seen from Columbus tonight is when they get out of system, we call that a trap set. When it's too tight or too far inside, it's difficult for the hitter to even get to the ball, and the block is just sitting there camped out waiting for them. And we've seen several from Columbus that's leaving their hitters in a really tough situation.
Much better opportunity for Gillen to get a hand on the ball, but she's still dug. Didn't have a lot on it and can't play that. Another point for Omaha, and the Supernovas are stretching the lead in set number 3, 15-8.
And that's an insane angle from Reagan Cooper. She goes up and turns that ball sharp inside the block. Gillen actually popped it up, which was an incredible defensive play, but no other Columbus player could get to it to continue and keep it alive. Nice plays by both Reagan Cooper and Jill Gillen.
Caffey floats it. That's Leao. She's dug. Valentine Anderson goes down to Banjo, and Leao gets the block and the point.
And Onabanjo there goes straight ahead. That's right where Leao is waiting for her. As a middle, you have to expect one player at least to be square up in front of you. You've got to turn the ball one side or the other.
Leao is 6'3". There's a terrific Gillen serve. Reagan Cooper rejected but out of bounds. Point for the Supernovas.
That was a great serve by Jill Gillen. We know she can do that, but a really great pass by Brooke Nuneviller. She's calm. She just passes that ball right up to the net. Nati with a great set pushing it out.
Get to the 16-point timeout, and it is Omaha in control, 16-9 in set number 3.
Proudly serves 10,000 students in 192 chapters across Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, South Dakota, and Wyoming. But we need your help.
We're recruiting teammates, mentors to help our students reach their full potential.
Meeting with a student once a week can make a positive impact in their life and create a ripple effect in our communities.
Go to teammates.org to learn how you can get involved. Join the team, be a mentor.
Fisher's Event Center in Indiana will play host to the inaugural PVF All-Star Match, February 22nd. Tickets are on sale now at provolleyball.com or scan the QR code for instant access.
Nancy Metcalf, I'm Bill Dolman, and welcome back to the CHI Health Center, where Omaha leads Columbus 16-9 in set number 3. You see the score on the board. Tonight's score strip is presented by Liberty First Credit Union, banking with purpose. Find out more at libertyfirst-cu.com. Another point for the Supernovas out of the timeout. And if you're Angel Perez, you just got to hope your team has some fight to the finish, because this one is getting out of hand in the third set, and it's a potential for another Omaha sweep.
It is, and Columbus is trying everything in. That was Morgan Lewis with an error. Now we see Janice Leao with an error. Angel Perez has been trying different players and trying to sub in somebody, trying to get something going for his team. But this set, they're just struggling to get any momentum going.
Omaha's doubled it up in set 3 now, 18-9. I think that's the biggest lead that we've seen so far tonight. Good play by Nunaville in the back row, all by herself back there. Tipped over, poked back up, and Leao wins the joust at the net.
Good extension there by Camila Gomez, laying out for that ball and poking it up. Unfortunately, goes too tight, and Columbus is ready. Layout tips it right back down for the point.
Emily Landau has come in for Omaha. She wears 27. She's an Ohio native from Utica and played at Ohio State. She knows Columbus well. Another point for the Fury, 2 in a row, inching closer. 18-11 is the score. Leao serves. And deep. Too deep. Another Fury service there. 19-11, Omaha. Coming into the match for Omaha, to a loud applause, number 14, Allie Batenhorst, who played 3 seasons at the University of Nebraska, transferred to USC, had an All-America type season for the Trojans, and then got drafted and got to come back home to Omaha, and the overpass is right at her. She couldn't terminate. Lush plays it to Cooper in the back row. Batenhorst gets a swing into the block. Omaha can't keep it alive. Point for the Fury.
That's a nice block by Columbus. They're doing a good job on that ball, staying disciplined. Allie Batenhorst trying to tap it off the block and let the team play it again, but it just gets lost in the mix.
We should have been keeping tabs on who got the loudest applause tonight. Was it Bud Crawford? Was it Matt Rule? Was it Dylan Raiola? I'm putting my money, though, as we get another error. Harper Murray is also in the building, and when they introduced Harper Murray to the crowd, I think she's the one who peaked the meter.
I think she might have been the highest applause, yes.
Yeah.
The crowd loves their Nebraska people.
Especially her. The attack by Lewis, that goes wide. And Omaha is 4 away from a sweep. Phoebe Awale comes into the matchup for Omaha as Laura Kuhn empties her bench. Everybody's getting a shot today. She plays it on the bump to Batenhorst, well behind the line. Lush winds up, rejected. Lush going to try it again. That's off the tape. Nice play by Valentine Anderson. Land out, rejected.
That's a nice play on both sides. Valentine Anderson picking up a nice ball there, trying to get Londot going on the opposite. The block is solid and just waiting for her.
Take a look at that replay.
You can see Lush there all the way down that line, reaching and turning it back in.
Batenhorst whips it into the block, tip back to Landau. Landau's going to try again. That's off the antenna, and that's a point for the Fury.
Nice play and cover there. I like it that Camila Gomez stepped in to set that second ball in the first play there, because it was going to be a running set for Natalia Valentine Anderson, and Gomez trying to keep them under control.
Lush floats it to Batenhorst. She wants it back, and she tips it into the block. Gillen winds up. Nice diving save there by Gomez. That taps it, Anderson. Batenhorst again gets the kill.
And now the crowd gets to cheer for her. They were waiting for that first kill for her tonight. They go wild. It's great to see the support they have.
She almost blushes a little bit when she comes into the match and gets the the cheers, and then when she gets a kill like that. That's off the block, out of bounds.
That's Jill Gillen turning it out of bounds for Columbus there. Smart shot off the block. Allie Batenhorst had a tough ball there at the net and does a really nice job playing that as well.
Ramelsburg will serve it, 22-15. Omaha 3-0 away from a 4-2 record on the season. Batenhorst whips that from the floor. What a kill.
That was a great play by Omaha. The pass was there. Natalia Valentin Anderson gets Allie Batenhorst on a quicker set out, and Allie is able to explode to the ball and go after it aggressively. It's a great swing.
Might be a candidate for play of the match. 23-15 Omaha. Batenhorst serves. That's it, Lush. Gillen whips it into the corner. You know, when Arkansas played Nebraska in that NCAA tournament, I think that was a year ago, Nebraska fans really kind of fell in love with the Stillwell, Kansas data, just because, look, she's 5'7", and she flies and has so much power that there was a great appreciation for the way she plays the game.
She does, and the Husker volleyball fans, that's very typical for them. They appreciate skill. They appreciate a good volleyball level, and that's Jill Gillen. She is so talented, even though she's undersized compared to some other players. She plays fearless and aggressive, and they loved watching that, and I agree with you. They fell in love with her a little bit. They could appreciate what she brought to the court.
Joust at the net, some good back row defense by both teams. Gillen, not much on that. That's at Cooper. Cooper's going to try and finish it. She can't do that. What a dig by Anderson. Valentin Anderson flying. Long dot, she's dug. Longest rally of the match. Long dot, good pass for Valentin Anderson.
There were some flying defensive plays on both sides of the net. Sarame on the Columbus side had to lay out for a ball. She gets it up and her team continues. Here we see Natalia Valentin Anderson laying out. Cooper able to go up and rip it off the inside of the block and bounce it down.
And that takes us to match point. Awalea will serve it. Takes it down the line. Lush from the back row. Valentin Anderson tried to finish. And it's set free. Fury tries to extend it, and that's just out of the reach of Valentin Anderson. Another kill for Lewis.
It's another smart shot by Morgan Lewis. Again, seeing the block, seeing what's open, finding something that she can take.
Crowd still up, and Gillen will serve. And that is sent long, and the service there gives Omaha a 25-17 win. It's set number 3, and its second 3-game sweep of the season, second over Columbus. Kind of fitting, Nancy, that it ended on a Columbus service there, because that was a problem they had all night.
It was a storyline all night, wasn't it? Both teams were trying to serve aggressive, but Columbus, so many errors just kept taking themselves out of their rhythm and out of the momentum they had worked so hard to earn.
So Omaha wins it to improve to 4-2 on the season. Columbus falls to 0-6. We're not done. Much more to come from Omaha in a moment.
Teammates Mentor proudly serves 10,000 students in 192 chapters across Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, South Dakota, and Wyoming. But we need your help.
We're recruiting teammates mentors to help our students reach their full potential.
Meeting with a student once a week can make a positive impact in their life and create a ripple effect in our communities.
Go to teammates.org to learn how you can get involved. Join the team, be a mentor.
Fisher's Event Center in Indiana will play host to the inaugural PVF All-Star Match, February 22nd. Tickets are on sale now at provolleyball.com or scan the QR code for instant access.
Nebraskans love their volleyball. That's why NCN is once again televising Omaha Supernovas matches this season. Join Husker volleyball announcer John Baylor and Husker Olympian Nancy Metcalf for all the action as the Supernovas look to defend their pro volleyball championship in 2025. Tune in to News Channel Nebraska for Omaha Supernovas volleyball, presented by Barry Law.
Fisher's Event Center in Indiana will play host to the inaugural PVF All-Star Match, February 22nd. Tickets are on sale now at provolleyball.com or scan the QR code for instant access.
Congrats. Good match.
99-cent tacos. You catch the Supernovas back home on Sunday, February 16th.
Welcome back to Omaha and the CHI Health Center, where the Omaha Supernovas have made quick work of the Columbus Fury for the second time in a week, winning 3-0 at Columbus last Friday, 3-0 again tonight. Supernovas are now 4-2 on the season with Nancy Metcalf. I'm Bill Dolman, and we are joined by Reagan Cooper. Reagan, last week in Columbus, you got off to a bit of a slow start, just 2 kills in that first set. Then things kind of turned around. You finished with 14. And now 8 kills tonight to lead the way. What's it been like to face your former team and to help this team get on a 2-game win streak?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's nerve-wracking. I know a couple of girls on the other side, and they know my game, so I have to go into it knowing they kind of know how I play. So that's a little bit of a challenge, but my teammates really surrounded me, and also Caitlin Horde put on the team with me last year, so we were communicating with each other, and yeah, I'm glad we got to go out there and get the win again. So it's nice.
Reagan, what was your focus tonight after sweeping them? It's really tough sometimes to come back and beat a team again. What was your guys' focus tonight trying to go in and get another sweep?
Yeah, well, I mean, Bird was saying, they're going to come in hot. Like, they've been coming in hot all season. I know they haven't gotten the results that they want, but they're a good team. And she kept saying, don't, underestimate them. Always respect your opponent across the net. And I think we showed that. I think we didn't have any mercy, like, no matter how high or how far up we were in the game. So I think it worked to our benefit tonight.
For the first time in Omaha history, there was a 2-game losing streak. You've turned it around in a week, both wins against Columbus. What has been the difference to go from the 2 setbacks to the 2 wins that you've had, regardless of who your opponent is?
Right. I mean, just working on things that we maybe slacked on in those 2 games in practice. We were doing a lot more defensive drills, more block-focused drills, and I feel like defensively we've improved since those two games that we dropped. So I think working on specific things in practice, and it's showing on the court.
So now you've got to get on a plane here pretty quick. Instead of having back-to-back games here at home, you've got to head down to play Orlando, and it's going to be an early time on Sunday. How do you enjoy this win and get ready, recover, and play one on the road where you've got to travel a little bit?
I mean, that's a good question. It's different this season because we have a lot of, play one game, get on the play the next day. So I feel like we're still getting used to it. We've only been playing for about a month. So I feel like the biggest thing is getting in the gym after a long travel day and still putting the work in so that when we go in for the game that next day, we're still ready and we're still in that game mentality. So.
Well, there's another great crowd here at CHI Health Center and another great performance by the Supernovas. Reagan, thank you for taking time to be with us. Enjoy the win and good luck on Sunday.
Thank you all very much.
All right, Reagan Cooper, 8 kills tonight, helping lead the way to Omaha's victory over the Columbus Fury. Again, Omaha's now 4-2 on the season. Next up is the date at Orlando. Omaha's had a tough stretch right now. Currently, they're playing 4 of 5 matches, 5 of 7 in this portion of the schedule. Well, they are away from home, so it's pretty nice to be here at the CHI Center. And a crowd probably had to be around 10,000, 11,000 for the match tonight, and a lot of celebrities here, so a lot of fun. So they put on a good show in front of a great crowd.
They did, and it's something fun to be able to play in front of a crowd like this, to come home to a crowd like this. They're very welcoming. They show the team their support. They make them feel it, and that can definitely help push the team through. When there's some lulls in the match, it can help them get that energy back.
Well, still a long way to go in this 2025 campaign. The Supernovas are now 4-2 on the season, looking ahead to Orlando, but a great night tonight in Omaha with Omaha sweeping Columbus for the second time in a week. They won last Friday. They win tonight. And Omaha picks up the victory, now 2-1 in their home facility. For Nancy Metcalf, I'm Bill Dolman. Thank you so much for joining us for Pro Volleyball Federation action with Omaha taking on Columbus. Again, we'll have 5 more matches on NCN throughout the rest of the season, and we do hope you'll join us all the way through April. Good night, everybody.
NCN Studios are sponsored by Faith Regional Physician Services. NCN News is brought to you by Elkhorn Valley Bank and Trust.